so they probably do cross at some point, but it may take longer. It's going to be at a much higher level. And so gold investors are going to do just as well as I think they've thought that they're going to do. But the second thing that I find very interesting is that there seems to be a demographic difference in terms of most young people I talk to, they don't own gold and they're buying Bitcoin. Most of the older guys that I talk to, they own a lot of gold and they're starting to kind of dip their toe with the Bitcoin. But the institutions are all run by older guys, right?
Yeah.
It feels like that changes over the next 20, 30 years, obviously, right? And so how do you look at the relationship between these two assets, 10, 15, 20 years from now? Do you think people still try to hold both? Or is there capital that would go into gold historically, but will kind of get siphoned off into Bitcoin?
What's funny on a side note is every time I go on Charles Payne's show on Fox, I'm like the only person there that's young and bullish of gold, and he's always like, yeah, the youngest gold bull of all time. He's always making fun of me. I'm like, but I love Charles, he's great. But I think it's interesting. Definitely institutional investors are probably, retail is a lot less likely to go buy gold. Like some guy buying Bitcoin in his Robinhood account or whatever is going to be more prone to buying a risky asset or something like crypto or Ethereum or you name it, than just going to buy a spot gold ETF. At the same time, I think that can change, like you said, especially as the young people start getting into the institutional side of things. And also, the other thing that's changing is regulation. I think 5 years ago, everything was pointing towards the government striking down Bitcoin. Now it's actually become a part of the campaign trail. Like, candidates are speaking at Bitcoin conferences and criticizing, people who are not accepting the technology and the change that it's bringing. So I think attitude, and generally speaking, is changing. And I even think the older investors are starting to view it. And what drives an institutional investor more than anything, it doesn't matter if it's purple, green, gold, you name it, it's returns. If it